Hello. Thought I sent you. Oh, the cart thumbnail, right? Sorry, I had some technical difficulties getting the stream up. I so I had to like restart, and I must have forgotten to re-add the cart thingy. Yeah. They have the. I had it up earlier, but then like I had to like reset the stream. Uh, and so yeah, that happened. I just wasn't talking. Usually, I Yeah, that wasn't a problem with this stream. I just wasn't talking in the beginning because I was figuring, like most people aren't here right away, right? And instead of just mumbling and being awkward for like a good chunk of time, I figured I could just start the stream whenever I was just ready. Like it would be live and people would see stuff. But yeah, it's very tricky. Technology is terrible. Who would want to do technology things like to play video games? It's a garbage idea. Anyway, today we're gonna do driving. Now, when we do this, I think it's important to remember that I am a trained professional. I have a license. That means that what you're witnessing here today is legally allowed on the road. God's sake. That's right, someone approved me to drive, which is generally, it was probably a mistake, but like let's be honest, but GameCube intro sounds, yes. It's good to be back. Oh yeah, I hope the audio, tell me if the audio sounds good, right? It should sound better than last week's audio, because I am back at a better recording setup, I believe. If it doesn't sound better than last week's audio, that's a massive disappointment. And I'll cry. But, no, I mean, I just, it's supposed to sound better. I take pride in being punctual when it comes to streaming. When I stream, I always press the stream button exactly on the dot. Yeah, it's yes. But I found out that I figured I'll press the button a little bit early, right? And like, I'll start actually saying things when the stream actually is doing it, so we don't have that weird awkward moment where I say random inane nonsense as I filler, as I send off all the I'm live messages, but I don't want to send off before I'm live, because then, there's a good chance that it'll find people before I'm live, and then people will be like, wait, Philip, you said you were live, and I'll be like, yes, well, I was extrapolating a few seconds into the future, if you could just wait a bit. So, anyway, that's the theoretical, I think that happened, kind of the first time. Anyway, rammed into a wall. That's not good. Audio sounds fine. That's good. But does it sound good? Game needs to be louder. Oh, you guys need to hear. The game needs to be louder. Okay. Uh. Alright, how about now? Bammed. I think. Alright. I don't know how well this is doing. Power boost. Much better, that's good. There's the limo. Now, my hope is that we did this in one try, because that was pretty good. I've learned a lot since my older days. It's good. It was a good stream. Pikmin 2. Well, my favorite Pikmin. Gosh dang it! Alright, I'm guessing I need to 240 or something.
What stage are we going to play?
Just have to be a little bit better. You're pretty good at this. You're good at this, Philip. This won't take 3 streams like the last car level. In fact, I'm certain I am dedicated to making sure this does not take 3 streams like the last car level. I really don't want to spend, I guess not 3 whole streams, but you know, you get the you all were there, right? 245. All right, that's good. It's not it. We got pretty close. And as I always say in Brooklyn, pretty close is good to do. It's good to be pretty close. It's one of those patented flightsy sayings you wouldn't understand. Yeah. Yeah, it's good to be back driving a car, racing around at the speed of car. I mean, it's pretty exhilarating, as they say. And that's what I always say. Pretty exhilarating. Write that down. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, okay. It's a car. We're driving. You know, yeah. Minutes? We don't have a few more minutes. We have like 1 minute and a little bit extra. Or else we're not getting that A rank. Come on, Taylors. The whole thing takes only a few minutes, so a few more minutes just means you barely started. Oh, that slowed me down a bit. That also slowed me down a bit. Come on. We could do it. I could do it. I believe in me. Okay, I missed that one. That's fine. Dang it, running into the cars is bad because it takes time. I only knew you as I'm back. I had a hard time wondering who Flightsy was. Oh, shoot, when did you see me as Flightsy then? Is it because I changed my, is it because I changed my nickname to me? Maybe, and then you just looked at the tag? Oh, come on! This level has the same exact texture, skybox, and music as Rogue's Route 280. This part of the game really seems like an afterthought to me. It's interesting, right? It is an afterthought. It is literally just, guys, what do we put a car level in here? But, like, again, the controllers have that same Sonic Adventure 2 kind of thing where, like, they don't make sense, but, like, after you do them for a while, it feels really satisfying to actually do well. Right? Like, that's the essence of Sonic Adventure 2, basically. Yeah, this doesn't feel right or natural, but it feels really good when you do it correctly. You just have to flabbergam around about it for like for like a long while.
I'm getting closer.
And then when you get it though, when it clicks, you feel like a god. Oh, shoot, out, dang it, I hit roll. Anyways, like a god. It's one of those things, right? It's not one of those mechanical things. But like again, it's not natural, but it is. It has a lot of. It feels really good to do. Something about drifting in a like. It's partially because drifting in this game is the only way to make any proper turns. And like, I don't know, there's something always satisfying about figuring out drifting, right? Like. Oh, hi, Sawyer. It's not that bad. There's a car. Okay, like, I think a lot of this game. I could see a lot of people not like this level because they probably haven't invested the same, like, so the rest of the game, you, say you play Sonic Adventure 2 as a kid. You get to know the Sonic Adventure 2 controls pretty well. But you probably don't replay this level on, you don't really get to know the you don't really get to know the kart racer part controllers, but just like regular Sonic Adventure 2, the kart racer controllers are are not massive. Uh, just like the rest of Sonic 2, it doesn't click until you get good at it. And so if you never bothered to get good at the kart level, it's very easy not to like it. But like again, it's one of those things where it doesn't feel good until you get good at it, which is something I learned. This is my first time playing Sonic Adventure 2, so I had no experience with it. I struggled really hard for the story mode playthroughs, and if I had stopped after the story mode, I probably would not like. Didn't make it in time. I would probably not have a positive opinion of this game at all. But then I started to do the A ranks, and I actually had to get good at it. And the next thing I think is true about this whole game is it feels good when you get good. Like it feels really satisfying to pull off stuff in this game, but it does not feel natural. It doesn't feel. It feels. It doesn't like click immediately. At least for me. And it's 3 doing one playthrough makes it feel very jank and stuff, but again, it's a very high skill, so it feels very satisfying to pull. It's when it pulls together, and the car level is similar. So like these drifts, when I first played the car, I was just like, this turning doesn't work, and the reason is because it takes like you have to get a knack for the drifting, right? It's not easy to do the drifting in these, or not natural, at the very least. And so it's only when you actually get used to the drifting controls and actually kind of figure out how they work that you actually have any chance of enjoying a car level in Sonic Adventure 2. And before that, you're just screwed. You're never gonna enjoy it because it's well, you can still enjoy it if you like running into walls, but not a lot of people do. So like, my general experience, that means you don't enjoy it until you get good. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, I want to do this because I'm on. Oh, that was satisfying. That was good. That's why I am also pretty glad that this is a multiplayer mode, because besides the A ranks, there's not a ton of reason to replay car levels, but it has the mechanics that make it mean it can be very interesting and very fun to get good at. And usually stuff that feels very fun to get good at is advantaged by a multiplayer component, because a competitive multiplayer component provides an incentive to get good, as they say, which I imagine can be hard to provide under other circumstances. I do wish these levels didn't end with long stretches where it just like is like, haha, you didn't do it in time, because this long stretch of land is so long. That's real funny. So I'm gonna send off Betch to Vegas as to how many attempts it'll take it to not hit any walls. Thanks, Sour. So you're saying Preston was right about this game all along? If Preston... Okay, but like... I would be tempted. I would be tempted to say, oh, Preston was right all along. Except the few times Preston actually came and watched, it made it very clear that he did not actually do this. Like, he might have gotten good enough when he was a young child to like get kind of like a hang of the main game, but like it was obvious that like I don't know, like it might be just that like, again, as a kid it's easier to get good at something and then not get as frustrated as like you take your time to get good at something. So like she's kind of right, but like I don't know, I don't want to attribute that entirely to him, because he clearly didn't think all the way through to this, especially considering when I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna A-rank everything, it was like, why would you do this, or something like that. It clearly wasn't thinking about it like this. So I'll give him partial credit on the fact that I have somewhat come around to this game, but like I'm not sure I could give him full credit for that one. less right all along and more like I can understand why less right all along and more like I see where he's come or I mean yeah. I think I at this point have a better understanding of this game than Preston, honestly. But again, I definitely yeah, I mean yeah, depends on how you define right all along, you know. I hear the person who goes around saying Pikmin 2's BS parts are good actually. Okay, okay. I don't think that this game is good because of the BS in it. Whereas Pikmin 2 being uh, a game about loss and like trying to like manage resources and like react. It's a little bit like, you know how we were talking about how maybe they should make like Smash with items like its own category that people can competitively get good at because it's a skill to like deal with chaos. That's part of why I advocate I enjoy Pikmin 2's insanity, which isn't really an element in this game. This game, what I like about this game is not the BS elements. I think those could be removed. I like the very high skill ceiling, especially on stuff like movement, right? Some of it's too high, but like when you see a trick, right, that's hard to do, and then you finally like pull it off, it feels great, right? This is like a more of a tactical thing. There's still a lot of cheap shots that I think don't actually add anything. Whereas Pikmin 2, again, it's that dealing with chaos thing, and so I actually do have some amount of respect for that. See, there I go again. Come on,
I'm getting
you
closer.
can't fault me for enjoying Pikmin 2 and defending its design decisions. Just because it's I think I have a fairly well reasoned. I mean, I played Pikmin 2. I played Pikmin 2, no resets, dealing with it all, and it felt great. It felt great. I think I enjoyed that game more on that playthrough than I had in previous playthroughs, although it's been like a while since I've done previous playthroughs. It's actually really nice to 100% Pikmin 2 again recently-ish, and it felt really nice to like. It felt nice to go through it and playing through it just felt nice, right? It wasn't as, and yeah, I know part of that's because I'm good at Pikmin. Part of that is that I'm like, so I already have that experience, and part of that is that I'm familiar with Pikmin 2. But like, I don't know, there's something about like, because to me Pikmin 2 is all about like your Pikmin die, and then you figure out, well, how do I deal with that? How do I continue on in the next sub level? I don't know. Don't judge me. Okay, don't judge me for my love of Pikmin 2. Oh god, I'm running into everything. This is a lost cause run, I think. Yeah, I don't know how else to explain it, right? Like, I really don't. I really don't like this random strip of lands. It's like, yeah, you know what's exciting? Just standing there watching as the timer ticks up so you can figure out when, oh, now I gotta restart. Like, power boost, yeah. Again, I think that Pikmin 2's, again, like, so like, again, Pikmin 2's BS parts have like a purpose within the game design that I don't think Sonic Adventure 2's BS parts have. They don't have a purpose. They just become easier to avoid when you know where they are, and that makes them less annoying on repeat playthroughs. But like, and it's not the thing I really quite think is. It contributes to the thing where like it doesn't feel good until you play it, but I don't think it. Again, it doesn't get full credit for it in a way, right? Because it's not really, I don't think it's, yeah, it's more of a marginal element, or an element that's not so bad when you try to get good at it, rather than the elements where it's actually good when you try to do it, you know. It's a different kind of thing. Come on, rings, baby.
Tails, did you find the president?
I'm working on it.
Almost, Sonic. Just a few
Do you know how hard it is? Yeah, that's my defense of Pikmin 2. And why it's actually a really good video game, actually. I don't know, I enjoyed it. Come on, baby, come on. Come on, focus, 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 focus. Alright, we're actually really quite close. No, why did I do that? Come on. No, we're too late. Yay, this was a good idea. I don't know whose idea it was to end the game, the section on a long straightaway. Come on, 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 come on. Gotta be better at this than I am. Gotta be the very best, so no one ever was. That's the tricky part. No one was the very best, so it's hard. We don't have a lot. It's very hard to do it.
I'm getting closer.
Come on. That almost seemed to like bounce me in the right direction. Still, I think generally hitting walls lowers your speed, so it's not a good practice. Come on, baby, come on.
Tails, did you find the president?
I feel like this one has a lot more ups and downs, like physically, right? Than Rouge's course. There's a lot more of up, we're going down and up, and like that messes with my momentum more, right? Like maybe I shouldn't use it here because I'm already going faster. It's uphill. Maybe I should save all of that for only when I'm about to go uphill. I don't know. Wow, this is starting to look a little bit more like a lost cause now with all those hits. Come on, baby, come on. Come on, baby, come on. This might actually be it. This might actually be it. Come on. Full throttle. Come on. Just go faster. I hate this long straightaway. Come on. No. Are you kidding me? It's part of the... Oh shoot, that count. Wait, whoa, what? You saw the timer go over, right? Like,
Going to play.
that's weird. All right, well it counts. That counts. I won. I did it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. I collect 100 rings. Let's get those rings. One of the easier ones. Unlike the one where I can't run into cars. I really think the whole loss management idea talk about loses all merit when the causes of the losses was not your fault in the slightest. I think Pikmin 2 is pretty bad at it. Okay, but again, but what I'm saying partly about Pikmin 2 is that you can react to a lot of things. Like, you learn to be able to react to. Well, I learned to be able to react to those. But again, like, some of it, like, it's a brutal game, right? And some of it can be quite catch you off aware. But it's definitely, I can't say it loses all merit because I don't think it's. I know that it doesn't feel entirely like your fault. But I could definitely. I think that there are certain situations that you would say it's not your fault that I wouldn't lose the Pikmin in. That might get me in trouble. All right, so 3 minutes for walls and cars. But there are certain situations, because I remember I was analyzing it, as you walk through. Like, it's definitely not easy, and you have to kind of like figure it out. But the way it's set up is that it's supposed to be like you have infinite time to figure out how, like you have infinite time. I've already failed. You have infinite time to figure it out, right? To kind of figure out how to deal with stuff, right? It randomizes it, so you don't ever. It randomizes it to prevent you from just like learning, because learning trial by error isn't actually that fun. That does leave it open to you just kind of like restarting until like it gives you success. But if you theoretically, I really do think it's. I think that, like, I know I am skewed a little bit by already being fairly good, but it's possible to learn how to deal with a lot of stuff that might feel obvious. And I can't say it. You could say that maybe it's too unfair and that it loses some merit, but I very much refuse the idea that it loses all merit on that deal. It can lose points for being not very beginner friendly and not easy to deal with, but I can't say it loses all merit, because I don't think all losses, because I think a lot less losses are unpreventable to me, and so that would. And from the amount of losses that I would view as unpreventable, I think it's like I think all right. So just take Dream Den, right? I got stuck. I actually had to restart the cave. Well, I had to just come back. I didn't have to restart the cave because I lost. Because like an idiot, I got some of my blue Pikmin killed and didn't realize I couldn't regenerate any of them. And then that one treasure, right? And that's annoying, right? I'm annoyed at that. I don't think it's great. But I do kind of fault myself. Like, even though I was trying to be careful with those blues, it is kind of my fault that I let them die. There are points at the time, like I left them behind a lot, but there are points at time where I incorrectly assumed, oh, I can bring these all with me now. It's fairly safe, and that's on me. Although partially that's because a few of those Pikmin died to relatively dumb things, annoying, or like, I don't know. I feel I take responsibility for all deaths that occurred in my run. And yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know. So you saw the thing where the ball being surprise round, they couldn't predict a trap me in 40 and saying no, that's my fault. Okay, you're gonna be mad at me for this. but I was watching. There were definitely a few scenes in the Summer's Castle, and I couldn't articulate it, right? Because how am I supposed to type in chat something that is almost a gut feeling? But my head like was working through how I could have gotten out of it. Like I had like, it's hard to put into words because it's like, oh, you gotta like swarm and like try and like do X, Y, and Z. And there's definitely points where it would screw up, but there were definitely, it also, there were some points in the Summer's Castle where like a bomb would fall, and I'm like, oh, you gotta swarm away, right? Or like, I don't remember exactly what it is, but I was working out how in my head, like, ooh, should have done this or whatever in like my head.
Tails, did you find the president?
It was something I was.
Almost, Sonic.
Oh, now you're making me want to stream Pikmin because now I feel like I need to prove my point a little. Shoot. But there is. Again, it's. Come on. No. Gosh dang it! I was going so slow. I didn't even run into that car. Yeah, I don't know. Like. No, not. But oh my. I don't know. It's like. And plus, when you're someone like me, you get like a scare, like, oh shoot, almost all the Pikmin almost died to that, right? It's exhilarating, right? You almost make it out, or you don't make it out, or like, you get to save some of them, like you get like some of them out of the way. The Highwing, yeah, there were a few. It has to do with swarming a little bit, and like maybe not, you couldn't have gotten all of them out of there, and maybe there were some situations that were fraught. The volatile wheels are very tough to deal with, but I do think I could have gotten on the same generation. I could have gotten through it without restarting. I'll say that. Because again, losing some Pikmin is natural, but you're minimizing odds. You're trying to stop it. I don't know. I'm not the best. I lose Pikmin. I lose like, what, 90 or something? I think there's that one cave where I lost 94 Pikmin. But like, you know, there's some people who think good elevates games above criticism. Okay, no, okay. But you're saying there's no merit, alright? You're saying I am acknowledging that there are flaws in the design, but I'm also trying to point out that I think that there are good and interesting things, and there are reasons why it is fun for me to play that exist exclusively because of its bullshit. And I'm just trying to highlight that. I understand that is not a pleasant experience. I wouldn't recommend people play Pikmin 2. I wouldn't recommend people start with it. I'm not saying that having a brutal outlook doesn't have issues, but I am saying that to be entirely like, well, it's just nothing I sorry, but I feel like you're leaving analysis and just no, okay, no, that is not. Well, I am not saying that Pikmin 2 is a perfect game, right? I understand it's not for everyone. I understand that it's not always pleasant. I understand that it might not be like. I just want to explain why I enjoy the game and why I think that there are, and part of that exists because of the brutal nature of the game. You can't just take that and say I'm being a narcissist. Because, you know, that's something I'm fairly passionate about, not being a bloody narcissist. Gosh dang it! Okay, gotta get better at the cars. But I went to a D&D game yesterday. I don't know if you know this. I'm playing some D&D for the first time. So I won my first session one. Was like yesterday, and only like 3 people died. So that was a pretty good. That was a pretty good session. I didn't die. I didn't die because my character's just Kirby, and I think. Well, there are a few reasons I didn't die. Number one, it just so happened that when everyone was placing their piece. So first off, the DM. Okay. Okay. So alright, I'll walk the story back in stages. So we'll start with reasons I didn't die, and that's because when the DM suddenly initiated combat, which was this whole other thing. When that happened out of nowhere, it just so happened that everyone at the table was like, "Oh, we got to put our pieces down," and I put it, and you put their piece down roughly where you were, and we were in a group, and for some reason our group, which really should have been like a circle, came out as a line, and I put my piece at the very end of the line that was farthest away from all the monsters. So I wasn't one of the people that died. There's that. Also, the character I'm playing is just Kirby, basically. To the point where people mistakenly call him Kirby, even though it's technically Curb. But Curb's a... and so I think the healers might prioritize them. That wasn't a big thing because I was already... Like when I was unconscious, it was also because I think it was also partially because I was away from the monsters and easier to heal. But there was definitely an excitement about like an urgency to healing the character that's just Kirby over it. And I do feel a little bit like that might have played a little bit of it. I mean, to be fair, it's a very reasonable thing to do. I did not get out of that car. That car was... that car was a good... That car was... That was hard to get out from. Yeah, no, it was pretty fun. Pretty fun time, though. It's okay. This is a kind of campaign where you come back from the dead. You're dealing with reality warpers, and so when you die, you come back all spooky. Spooky revival. Spooky. So it was kind of fine that people died. They're back already. We have a little in-character Discord chat, so like stuff's moving along. Part of the reason everything went so wrong, the DM like goes in and I was like, I'm nervous, and the DM's like, oh, don't worry, there's no combat plan. But like there were 17 of us. Oh, hello, Brand Shenanan. We're doing. Oh, come on! I'm ready to do a wall. No, curses! I'm never greeting anyone again. Alright, gone. We're back. There we go. Bing, bada, boom. Gotchas. Alright, I'm not sure if we're gonna... Alright, luckily the timer was lenient on on this one. Yeah, welcome to Sonic Adventure 2. We're trying to avoid hitting any cars. Which is probably the most unrealistic part of this game. I always try to hit all the cars when I drive. So... a bit disappointed. But, you know, I mean... It's one of those things, I mean, if there's talking animals, you gotta kind of be okay with some inaccuracies, I guess. I don't know, I feel strongly about the desire to hit cars. I think I'm gonna make it. I think I'm gonna make it, even with this stupid long stretch of land that serves no purpose but to be an aggravation, and which does not do a good job of time of indicating when the clock actually ends. But we actually got it. That was pretty fun. Now we're on to the real tricky one where I can't hit walls. And this is a, I will say, we're doing way better. You should have been here for the first car stream, and by that like so like I did like the Rouge car level earlier. It was not the funnest. Anyway, that's a brief overview of what we're doing here. It involves a car, or like a kind of car. Alright, how are you, Alexi? So I just wanted to poke a bit of fun. You and Crest are being the same way by Tyke and Pikmin. Carried away, sorry right now I felt called out. I hope I wasn't offended much. Yeah, I mean, I will, I don't know. Oh, I've read it to a wall again. I don't know. I probably shouldn't. I knew. I was hoping it wouldn't be too bad. I was doing a little bit of joking to him, but I did acknowledge that it maybe wasn't the best idea to point out the fact that I do think you did very well on the Savage Cast. I don't think it's. I don't know. Oh, it's hard for me. I don't have a good perspective on it. I didn't mean to make it sound like you're not very you're not good at the game. I just wanted to illustrate. I don't know. I just wanted to. I don't know. I do feel a bit. I just wanted to point out that it is because like I guess I just wanted to point out that there is some merit. I take my analysis a little seriously, so I am willing to acknowledge I'm impressed not that bad. I've acknowledged it myself before. If I feel like there's a misunderstanding or an argument against the analysis, I'm gonna try and make the counter argument because I don't want my argument to be out of. I don't want my argument to be out of hand. I want my argument to be accurate, and I don't. What's the word? Well, I take my analysis seriously, so I like to. So like, there's like a point where like I'm definitely not above making fun of myself or making fun of it, but at some point I have grown to seriously appreciate Sonic Adventure 2 and Pikmin 2, and at some point I'm going to try and actually do an analysis of it, and I do take that seriously. So when presented with the argument that there's no merit behind Pikmin 2's chaos, I did want to provide a counterexample, even though it probably wasn't a good idea, and I could see how it would be not very I can see how it'd be very embarrassing for me to publicly, say that. And especially since it was a really fun stream. I enjoyed watching the water race at Savage Castle, and I think it went pretty okay. Like it definitely was at least it was definitely not a beginner's run. It was like a fairly it was like a pretty good run. I did mean that when I said that at the end of last stream. It was just, I don't know, I wanted to illustrate why I wanted to illustrate that it's I wanted to illustrate why it's I just wanted to illustrate my points a little bit. I do appreciate the apologies. I don't like generally being called a narcissist, but it was, I don't know, I do acknowledge at least some faults in my methodology of argumentation. I mean, at least part of it is that
Come on, Sonic. Just a few more minutes.
we have different things that we are good at joking about and good at and taking and that I would joke about and take seriously. And so, while I might joke about, I would be fairly impervious to someone telling me that I'm not very good at a video game, because I'm not very good at many video games, but I'm going to take a lot more seriously if someone says I'm not very good at analyzing it. Whereas when I say it's, it's a bit of a, classic miscommunication kind of thing. So I appreciate the apology, but I do take some amounts of responsibility for it. We could talk about it more after the stream, hopefully. Now I'm gonna, I've been doing this. We've gotten, oh yeah, we beat the car level. We're schmoving. We're like going through this pretty quick. I think we're gonna make it a lot farther than, like we might get to the level after the car even. Who knows what? You might even get to the level after the car. That's what I just said. I didn't know I said that again. I feel a lot more confident on this level. I think it's a little easier than the Rouge level. Again, there's a lot more ups and downs, but there are not as many oh god turns, right? There are a lot of drifts that are not easy to do in Rouge's level. It is probably the hardest turn, and I've made it like a ton of times. I'm just slowing down because I know I have the leeway for it. This one too. Well, yeah, get the idea. There were some real trick drifts. There are some real tricky drifts. Yeah. There's some real sick drifts. I don't know. It probably makes sense. This level is a lot earlier. It makes more sense to start with this level, this car level, and the only reason we encountered the Rouge one first was because of our strange kind of system. But like, it's almost good because it means that there's no heartache in this one. Like, we got through it all. I'm free. Earlier in the Hero Story, which was one of the last tutorial ones, yeah, it is nice, right? To get through this and be like, oh shoot, no sweat. I mean, it actually, so surprisingly hard. I was surprised how hard it was to get the initial one, but the no walls one is way easier, right? After Rouge is kind of like, there's some really tricky drifts in Rouges, and this one is not as tricky. It's not as hard. It's not as tricky. Not as difficult.
What stage are we going to play?
Thanks for asking, Tails. This one. The same one. Alright. As I understand, the hard mode's not that different in the car levels. This really does have a nice hard mode, right? I think hard mode is a little overshadowed by the fact that it's just one more mission, right? I do appreciate what it does, but it doesn't hit the same as something like Kirby's Return to Dreamland's hard mode, because it's just another mission to do, right? And so it being like, oh, we're doing easy mode now, hard mode. Well, it's easy mode, and then rings mode, and then like it's just one more mission, so it doesn't hit as hard. But it really is I do really appreciate that it's got this kind of like this thing going. Yeah, I'm moving fast. I'm schmoving. I'm racing. You could even say I'm carring through the level. If you wonder what the pun is that it doesn't make sense. That's the joke. There's no pun. That one was just bad. You know, it's like, oh, you're expecting a lame pun, but in actuality, it makes no sense. I'm a comedy genius. This is you can make fun of my car. Yeah, it's if on the list of things you're allowed to make fun of, put comedy. That's you're allowed to. I don't think there's a joke I can conjure that I would not have to acquiesce isn't actually very good. You know, yeah. That's interesting. This one, you know,
Tails.
I do think I'm gonna have to. I don't think this is the run. I do think I have to be pretty efficient with how I do the card. There's only 5 seconds extra, and there are definitely some of the, yeah. Well, it's definitely. We're definitely gonna finish this. Like we're not gonna have an issue here. We're gonna finish this. We're gonna be riding in style from aisle to aisle with a guy named Kyle. Like that is composing its stupid rhymes of the times, and I'm running out of things to say. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time. We're gonna do a level. We're gonna get back to Chow. We're gonna watch the really boring cow races, which is probably the only part of this game I am not at all warmed up to. I mean, I like the Chow. I do. In concept and theory. I think they're too high maintenance in this game. How they're executing this game is too high maintenance. Oh, I have another boost. I don't think this is gonna make it, but after last time, where it's like, oh shoot, that lined up exactly with 250. I just failed that one. Well, you know what they say. Dang it. A lot of people say that, you know. Dang it, it's a common thing to say. Oh yeah, I was telling people, I went to the first D&D session yesterday, Galaxy Wolf, and I was telling people about how only 3 people died. So it was a pretty good session. Like only 3 people got completely and utterly destroyed. And so I think that was a pretty good first. That's how it normally goes, right? And I assume that most session ones, 10 people die. I'm just getting a litmus test on that, making sure that's a normal amount. 3 is pretty good. I'm pretty proud of us. We did run away like pansies, but you know, people survived, so that was good. Yeah, so you just want to make sure your D&T experience, how is the average amount of people that die per session 1? I just need to make sure. Oh, people died. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. So what happened? So here's the problem. So, hello ZX. Yo. Hello. Would you like? It's Sonic Adventure 2. I think we're doing the drive-in. We're driving. I've heard not a lot of people like this level, but I think it's not that bad. I think it gets better when you have to do it, and every part of this game gets better if you have to be good at it. Which is one of the weird. So normally a lot of games, it'll be like, oh, I really enjoyed this, but 100%ing the game overstays its welcome. Is how I feel about a fair few amount of games. And then there's some games like any Pikmin game where I'm like, if I don't 100% it, it does feel wrong. There's so many cool things that you miss out on by not 100%ing a Pikmin game that I feel bad about it if I ever don't do it. It's a bit lessened in something like, maybe only with the exception of Pikmin 3. I love Pikmin 3 is great. I do encourage everyone to 100% it, but 100%ing Pikmin 3 feels more like backtracking than because Pikmin 2 and Pikmin 4 have massive post games, and you don't really get a good ending unless you get all the stuff in Pikmin 1. Like the final boss is tied to 100%ing that game. It kind of forces the issue. The good is, yeah, you just gotta give it a try. Yeah, it's true. Well, I'm not sure a try. You don't have to just give it a try. You have to give it a concerted effort. This is one of the only games, right? I also would say I always got to get all the fruit in Pikmin 3. It's one of those games where you got to do it. I still think any Pikmin game I gotta get 100%. But I got distracted. The point I'm trying to frame is that almost every game, like those games that I actually think 100% is really worthwhile, and I'd recommend it to everyone, and that includes Pikmin 3, even though I said it's not as good post game wise. I would still encourage you to get all the fruits, and actually I'd encourage you to play a lot of mission mode. but and try and get platinums in mission mode as well. But so like there's stuff like Pikmin where I can encourage everyone. There's a ton of stuff where it's just kind of a chore to get 100%, and you're like, oh, I can't recommend. Like, do you want to get all the Korak seeds in Breath of the Wild? No, no one wants that. That's its fate worse. Like, there's a ton of games where it's like, oh, I like the game, but trying to get everything just it's too much, right? And it's a chore. And then there's this game, which is kind of weird in the fact that like playing through the regular game, I was like, oh, this sucks. But like then like the 100% is where I started to appreciate things, right? Like actually doing the 100%, like the base game was the chore, and then like actually getting 100% on stuff and actually having to do 100% was the part that was actually fun, which is like an inverse of almost of the normal dynamic. And like even the games where I recommend 100% full-heartedly, they're still good before 100%, and then like there's just this one. It's kind of weird. I just gotta give it, yeah. So it's not like gonna give it a try. You gotta give it a concerted effort, which I gotta say I was tempted not to after the original Sonic Adventure 2, after beating the story mode. But I'm glad I did, because even though it's taken 28 streams, getting all of these A ranks has given me a much deeper appreciation for this video game. Hello, I wish I could say well I had a rare closing day today, but I work more normal tomorrow, but I agree about 100% every Pikmin except 3. Well, again, I would still say 100% Pikmin 3, because, you know, it's Pikmin game, it's amazing, but, it's definitely, it's harder for, I would say it's almost required, right, for the other Pikmin games. Like this, Pikmin 2 and 4 have such a big coast game, it's hard not to feel like you're entirely missing out on a ton of stuff. Pikmin 1 doesn't have a good ending if you don't get all 100%. It's kind of hard not, like, it's kind of like, you could theoretically not 100% and get an okay ending by getting only some of the treasures, but that's such a weird, like, thing to do that, like, it's such an awkward thing to do, it doesn't make sense to. And it's a Pikmin game, right? To me, it's only satisfying 100% it, and so I will advocate for 100% Pikmin 3, but it's hard to put it on the must do. I might want 100%. Yeah, it's good. Although I would absolutely. Oh, too many people skip out on mission mode in that game. Mission mode in Pikmin 3 is like. I mean, that might be that's still my favorite Pikmin side mode. And like, it was so good that they brought it back in Pikmin 4 and incorporated it into. They were like, I read a developer interview. They actually were like, oh shoot, too many people skipped the mission mode in Pikmin 3. We're gonna put it in the main game. You have to do it now. And like, oh yeah, love mission mode. Anyway, what did I say? Well, sorry, I read all that already. I'll pin your Twitch. I'll give you a shout out. It's customary if I see someone I know that I watch streams. If I see someone I watch streams of in the chat, it's customary for me to pin their name in the chat, with the default being Galaxy Wolf, because Galaxy Wolf is my mod and good friend, and you should always watch her streams. But if someone else comes up, I use I'm trying to implement like a shout out esque system. Like, I got the idea from Barrett actually, because it was Barrett that because Barrett will shout out people with like Twitch's shout out thing, where you just go !SO or something. And like seeing that, I was like, oh, I should shout out people that I know stream if they come around. And it doesn't happen because I watch like 3 people, but like that actually would also bother to come back to come watch my stream. But you know, it's still something I wanted to do. It's still an institutionalized part of the channel. Dang it, I ran into the wall. That's probably going to cost me the run, or at least I don't think this run's going to make it. So once I'll pin a little comment with the shout out for Barrett once I actually get through it. I do hope. Yeah, I do hope that you get this. Your schedule's kind of strange. I feel bad as well because I miss your streams a lot, Barrett. Because because you stream like basically right during, you stream like during a school uh, like I get off of school and I'm like, oh, it's time for my lunch break, and then I eat lunch in a public area and I don't have headphones, so I can't do that. And then like I never get to see the Pikmin 4 streams because like I said, it's when I'm at school. Let's do this. You know what? And listen to you talk. Oh yes, watch for yourself. I could use the coffee. It's true. It's true. It helps. Check out Barrett. Uh, in on Twitch. Exclamation points. Let's be this honor. This complete pause. Barrett Twitch. Come on, come up. Huh. Apparently it's a Barrett J. That's interesting. Oh, there we go. I just realized I could have just done twitch.tv/ your name. I'm just a moron sometimes. Here, that's there, and now this will be the new pinned comment. If I can figure out replace pinned message. You have officially been shouted out. I'm very excited about these because I don't get to do them very often. We're star-crossed streamers. We stream at times that just are not convenient to the other person. It's a tragedy. I'm having a good day. It's been, well, I'm a little stressed. I have a lot of stuff I gotta do over the weekend. And there's a ton of stuff that's gotta get done over the weekend. At least 2. No, I'm kidding. I got like a ton of homework and then a ton of non-homework stuff that has to get done, and I'm worried about my ability to handle it. So there's that. But today itself has been fairly good. I mean, worst comes to worst, I don't know. I'll probably handle it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Probably. I'll probably not die. Dying is for losers, so I would never do that. So you know the idea. Yeah. So it's been. Other than that, we've been doing the cars, and man, oh man, we're driving. Honestly, this is taking way less time than I expected. Although it's gonna take more time because I'm not paying attention to the road. I'm like texting and driving at the same time, and it's not doing good wonders for my driving ability. Man, this must be why they told me not to text and drive in driver's ed. I should probably actually do that when I drive the car. And this is a video game. It's not like real life. I'm sure I'll be fine. I don't know. Like my poorly set of jokes aside, yeah, my driving has been somewhat subpar on the hard mode. Did you ever play? I don't remember. I know you're more familiar with SA1, Sonic Adventure 1, but you ever do the car levels? What do you think about the car levels? Their car levels. Oh shoot! Oh wait, it's before. You can answer that if you want, but I forgot. I gotta tell the story of the D&D thing, where I went to session 1 and 3 people died. And when I say die, I don't mean knocked unconscious or whatever. I mean they're dead. We were really close. Alright, so first things first. I should put an asterisk. We're playing a campaign called, I think, Crimson Solitaire. And so part of the deal is that we're fighting something called the Crimson Troop. I think I think the DM stole it from like another video game or something. So like that's like an existing property, I think. But we're fighting something called the Crimson Troop. And the idea is they have the ability, they put on stage plays and they bend reality. And so the idea is that we're gonna, we're trying to, hope you're all having a lovely day. I don't think you don't get this far in Sonic Adventure 2. This is like level, like, I don't know, what level, the Galaxy, what level is this? It's not, it's fairly early on, the car level. You might have just forgotten about it because it's the car level and, you know, it's not very notable. At least to most Sonic Adventure 2 fans I've talked to. Well, a friend from work might want to join a D&D campaign someday. Oh, it's good. Well, if you went to college at my college, I would offered, but seeing as that's unlikely, considering we live in different states, I think, and also you're not in college, so that wouldn't, I think, that wouldn't work out. But it would have been, yeah, never mind. I remember Knuckle levels only. Yeah, the only important thing is Knuckle. This is a Tails level. Who cares? Maybe. Do you remember the Rouge levels? Because there's a Rouge car level, and Rouge is basically like Knuckles. It's like 7 or something. I guess that's not that. That is kind of far. But like in comparison, it's still not that far. It's less than halfway. The other cars are floating. Don't worry about that. That's just look, I know it's hard to know. I know we all get jealous of the floating cars, but you just gotta deal. You just gotta deal with jealousy is an unfortunate emotion you gotta deal with sometimes. And sometimes there will be flying cars, and you won't have any because those are just planes, and you know you have to get a pilot's license or some boring junk like that. So you fly flying cars when it will be a reality for you, and you just gotta be okay with that sometimes. It's really hard, but you gotta do it. Locos had good music. The Rouge levels have excellent. I prefer the Rouge level musics. I think I love the Rouge level music. I would prefer it over the Knuckle level musics. There might be fighting words. I could do a second fight, but no, it's Rouge level. I love the Rouge level words. Then my friend wanted his Sega back. Well, you know what they say: finders keepers, and then just don't give it back. Never mind, they're just jumping. Oh, thank goodness. Honestly, I was having a hard time keeping it together after you told me they were floating. Don't fight me, please. My poor brittle bones can't handle it. Brittle from being an idiot and not exercising ever. And being an idiot, which everyone knows that IQ positively correlates to bone strength. That's a real thing. Oh, thank goodness. He's just kidding. Oh, he's very concerned for my bones. Poor bones. Oh, we beat the car level. No, TND, I gotta explain how 3 people died. So, turns out stop saying, hey, you're brilliant, thank you. I am a genius. Normally I'd follow that up with some fun slapstick example of me not being a genius by saying something dumb, but I can't think of anything. So I guess that proves that I am in fact a genius. So it's nothing to be done about that. I don't know which level is next. It's the pyramid level, right? Yeah, it's definitely not the space level. It's definitely the pyramid level. All right, so a lot of people died. 3 people died. So you have to understand, right? So I'm doing D&D through a club, right? It's already like, oh, we gotta go through a club. It's not like I didn't miraculously find friends. I just found a club. Shoot the boxes! Anyway, it's a good start. I think it's harder to do these levels without any help. It's harder to do these levels without it's harder to do these levels without I hate this level already. I'm infuriated already. It's not taking very long. It's taken all of like 5 seconds. See, the thing is, you can't move the gun separately. So you have to do this awkward turnaround. Oh my gosh. Oh, and then there's also points where you just have to mash the button. That's a good game design. In the game Marvel Warriors. We didn't get all of those like I wanted, but yeah, alright. What was I saying? This is gonna make it infinitely harder to do it. Maybe I should just get my bearings on the level and not focus on being too good. Because we're clearly not succeeding at being too good. Is there anything interesting on here? Oh, it's an animal. I don't like the animals in this game, right? Because there's just so many points of there being a secret. And I'm like, oh, are there valuable points in here that I need to do my #1 mission of getting 100%? And the answer is always no, there's an animal, but like whenever it's an animal, it's a waste of my time, basically. Oh shoot, what was I saying? I got to explain what happened. And there's a chow box, which is also a waste of my time. These are tricky levels. I actually don't know what way I'm supposed to be going. Oh, it's this way, yeah. It's a good sign. I'm not going to restart like I usually do, I just need to see how to do this way. I think this way is better? I don't know. We got it. So what if I go here? Alright, was there anything I missed back here? That would make it valuable? No. Okay, so that I just go down there. That's just better. I have to think like a tactician now, and it makes conversation hard. Not that I was ever good at either the conversation or the tactician bit, but you know, in theory it's harder. I'm getting the machine essence because let's be honest, this is not going to be a winning run. It's mostly just going to be a grinding. Right? Grinding it out is going to... Grinding out Chow at least gives it a purpose. Oh, what was I saying? Alright, so... First thing, this is a club, and apparently there was a surge of people this year. Like, way more people. And so we got, like, to, like... So, like, we're doing a D&D session with 17 people. Because, again, it's not just a group of, like, friends or something. It's literally... And come on, the club is a policy of if you can want to join, we'll always have a spot for you, and that's great and all, but it does lead to the small problem of, alright, that's one ring, it's not worth it. It basically is this, so basically, it's chaos a little bit. It's chaos, and so the first thing the DM says, well, I'm like, oh, I'm worried about this, my first real. I've done a few with friends sessions, but this is, I would argue, my first real section of D&D, and I'm nervous, and I'm expressed this nervous to the DM, and then he says, oh, don't worry, there's no combat plan today. And I believed him like an idiot, like a fool. Alright, no, that's not true. It is true. There was no combat planned today. In the sense that the DM played an encounter. But, this annoying thing happened. But the problem is we separated into 70 people. So first we separated into two groups, right? We separated into two groups. So first, like, we're like, oh, so we're watching a play-like thing, right? Because that's what the Crimson Troop does. They put on plays. And so we're watching a play. And so we're all like, oh, we're watching a play. And we get a note from someone that says, hey, look under the stage. There's stuff under the stage. Right? So like, oh, that's our job. That's our job as the adventure player to go under the stage. Right? Great. Okay, that's a good job. It's a good job. It's a good motivation. This will work out pretty well, I thought. Alright, so that's what's down here. Let's see what's down there. But the problem is that there's so many people, and so we're like, oh, let's send 4 people. Let's send 4 people to be stealthy and get under the stage to like actually do it, right? And then, but like it's so then so this is great. It makes a manageable. And this is great that it makes it manageable, all these 4 people playing, but it's kind of boring to play 4 people. I get pretty disorientated because I don't really know what's going on. And the DM's kind of running around trying to, like, talk to various people. And so, this thing happens, right? Alright, nothing more to do here. That's good. Wonderful. And so this thing happens, right? Where we... So I was like, alright, so we're in this situation, and 4 people, someone else goes to join them, so it becomes 5 people, go off on their own thing, and basically they run into a staff attendant, and and to try and distract the staff attendant, they ask they ask where the bathroom is, and this doesn't work very well because they're like kind of just, we're in the middle of a forest, right? So like they just point to the attendant, like just points to a tree or whatever, and like, but like the person who's having the encounter with the attendant is not like is adamant to keep trying to persuade, and so the conversation keeps going about going to the bathroom and various things, which is great and all, and that's why we call. And then like it's like, all right, fine, roll a persuasion check, and they get a nat 20. So now this group is known as the Piss Gang. The point is, so this group is having a lot of fun, but you know, and the rest, and there's like what, like I guess if it's 17 minus 5, that's 12 people watching that are doing something. We're supposed to wait for a signal, but they forgot to actually tell us what the signal was. The people that went on to do the sneak attack. So the plans and there's 70 people, and the GM wants to make it interesting. And so if you raise your hand, he'll come over and ask what you want to do. And so this happens. I'm in the middle table, so I also catch wind of the fact that as this is going on, another group breaks off and just goes off to like explore backstage. And that's actually the really big advantage of having this really massive group, right? It's got this cool thing where the group actually splits off into like multiple pieces, and multiple stuff happens at once. Unless you're me, you know, still waiting and hasn't actually split off and done a thing. And then it's like you're just waiting for like something to happen that's like not happening. And then it gets kind of boring because like, alright, so I'm like, okay, so this group's going off the backstage. Piss Gang's getting led to an outhouse just being conjured out of midair because, again, the reality warpers. And so I'm like, alright, shoot. It's all crazy. And I'm like, I just want to gather up people and I'm like, I want to do something, right? I was like, I want to do something. I would like to participate in this campaign. So I'm like, so I like gather up all the people in the audience, right? I'm like, all right, shoot, everyone who's still in the audience and still waiting, come along. We split up into tables at this point. We actually divide ourselves into the tables based on where we are. And so we split ourselves off into tables, and we're like, all right, so we're going to, this is the chow room. It's a lot of points in the chow room, honestly, but I don't know how to. Problem with chow room is it's not easy to get out of these. So we're gonna have to restart. No, we don't have to restart. We'll just die. So the backstage guys are doing something off their own. So everyone's doing their own thing, right? There's guys backstage that are like, so the backstage crew is just going backstage, and I formulate a bunch of people in a group so we can come up with like a plan of action and do something while we're waiting. Like, all right, so now we've got 3 groups. All right, so they're doing backstage thing, we're doing something, and then apparently the backstage group messes with something and alerts everyone, and the entire audience members, all of the audience members turn into monsters. And what ends up happening is that basically like, the DM didn't plan it. It's just that we provoked them. Except the people that provoked the monsters are backstage and are fine. They're fine. They're not where, like, for the people that haven't done anything yet and are still in the audience are surrounded by monsters, and predictably, almost all, like, people start dying really. That's how 3 people die immediately, right? It doesn't help that they're talking about how to do it, and another person who is not part of the group, who is this one part of the original Piss Gang group, then does some rule lawyering, which makes the rules less fair for, again, the people that are being attacked, which is not not the person doing. Basically, what happened is the audience group just suffered everyone else's consequences It's because it was an interesting thing.
I did it!
My group is like 6, and that's a lot. On the one hand, it was kind of BS, but on the other hand, it was pretty funny. It's a pretty funny story.
I gotta do better next
Uh,
time.
it also has led to something very interesting, where in a roleplay wise, we're talking about roleplay wise, some people now there's a division in the party. Like a natural division in the party is formed off of the tensions of the characters and also the fact that this happened. But it's made something interesting.
It'll be okay.
I mean, I've had a lot of fun in the. So we have an in-character Discord chat where basically roleplay could keep happening after the campaign is actually over. So like, so that's happening, and I'm pretty happy about it. Anyway, it's pretty wild. And it's clear that this is not going to be how every session is going to be. The goal was not to have everyone die. It was not to have so many people die. And again, people respawn in this campaign. The reality warpers bring them back. They bring them back all spooky, but they bring them back. That's part of the plot. So, and I survived because number one, the audience. So this audience group of mine, which was in a group, should arguably have been like a ball, right? Like it would make sense that we would just be in like a amorphous kind of like ball shape, right? And then that would be how we'd organize our groups. But that's not how we actually organized our groups, right? Like we organized our groups in such a way. Dang it, these guys are decreasing power, but they are increasing swim, and I need swim, so I'm okay with it. No. But yeah, so like it helps that the so it's created some interesting things, and that in character track helps because it makes it's a lot of fun just to basically role play over Discord before any actual stuff involving dice happens, and like between actual sessions, it helps keep me doing it. It wasn't that bad. It was partway fun and it was partway kind of annoying. But I think some interesting things will come out of it in terms of how the characters work now. And also, I mean, we got the bag, so it worked out fine. And no one's dead for real. Good night, Barrett. Yeah, 6 is considered a lot. Good to know. Yeah, 17 was a lot. It was kind of a lot. Yeah. I mean, I will say, I wish that the backstage group hadn't done it. Also, we learned after the fact, the DM told us that we were supposed to wait till intermission to try anything. But you know, I mean, with 17 people and one group is actually doing stuff, people aren't going to wait around. It's kind of a thing that's going to happen. I mean, it was a mini disaster, but there were also cool aspects. Again, the advantage is that with 17 people, you can literally be minding your own business in a table. You're on a different table. You can't even reheal or something. And then DM will just announce a flare has gone off. Everything's going wrong, right? It was happening at parallel to you, but you didn't know about it because your character logically wouldn't know about this. And you don't know about it, and it catches you just as off guard as your character. And it's kind of cool. Granted, a lot of people died, and it wasn't. It created minor tensions in the group, but there were cool aspects to it. Yeah, there were cool aspects to it. And I survived because when we were making our groups, they're like, "Oh, enter combat," and our group, which really should have been a huddle, was for some reason organized in a straight line. And I just followed that trend and put my guy as far away from the monsters as possible. And I also got help because I got knocked unconscious, but the healers healed me. I think in large part because the character I'm playing for that game is just Kirby, and everyone wants to heal Kirby. I mean, if you could, you'd heal Kirby, right? It's a thing. Anyway, I'm having
What stage are we going to play?
some amount of fun, but it's a very funny story. And again, they didn't really die. They just no one's really dead. They just Spooky revived. Which I am glad my guy didn't die. I did want... Because the idea is, it's Spooky Revived. You come back different, right? They're different character traits. And I wanted to, you know, actually explore my character a little bit before different character traits got added to it arbitrarily, spookily, and stuff. So I am... Come on, skip both of them. Like, I am glad. I didn't want to die, right? It's not there's no consequence for death. It feels... I mean, I like my version of the character, Curb. And I have some ideas for what I want to do if I die. And I don't want to... But I want some time with this version of the character first. So I am very... It's not like there's no stakes to death. But it's less stakes than normal. Yes, smooth the curve. Dang it! I'm restarting because I think I need to hit all of those fighter points. Yeah, I think the 100% the mech level is probably our... I think I wouldn't predict this beforehand, but I don't think the mech... I think the mech level might be my least favorite too. 100%. It's just kind of... It can feel frustrating. We don't... It doesn't have that high C skill. It's very fun to get like really big numbers, but it doesn't feel as much like, oh shoot, I'm unlocking the higher skill ceiling as other parts of this game do. It feels a little bit more... Oh yeah, it's a... It feels a little bit more like... Dang it! I don't want to do that multiple times in a row. I think we're going down here. Alright, so that should be all I need to do for this one. I think yeah, that's an animal over there, so I'm gonna actually have to go get that. Come on, dang it. Swoosh the curve. It's because we're going off D&D rules and not Kirby rules. They don't actually kiss me, I think. I know, I was really disappointed when I figured that out. But yeah, so I don't think they actually do smooch curb. Disappointing. We forgot about those fighter games. Like in 5 seconds, I've already forgotten about them again. Yeah, no, I think. Yeah, I mean, so George Curb, as he is called, but he follows D&D, or they follow D&D rules mostly. There are plasmid. I don't know if I'm following the plasmid rules exactly, but but it basically means they're not whatever material Kirby usually is. They're like a slime. They're more like a slime, right? They're made of goop. Which is fun. I've had a lot of fun. One of my favorite things in the character chat so far has been describing Curb eating things and like spitting them up. I don't know how plasmids actually work, but I've come up with this headcanon that since the slime is Curb, like they can like, because the Curb is actually made of the slime, right? The slime is sticky to the touch, right? Like, oh, it's like you'll get sticky, but like I was lying there. You don't get sticky because none of it stays on you. There's no resistance that stays on you. So like anything that's bitten Curb comes out completely dry because yeah, it just floats around in there. But it comes out completely dry because it's not actually because it's part of Curb and Curb keeps it with them. After they retract their hand from the handshake or whatever. Oh, so I don't think those gears are just store time in this build. But I've been fun. But that's all. I've just been playing it how I feel. Yeah, they're jelly curry basically. I was having fun with some of the ideas I had for when I inevitably die and return. There's obviously Kiwi I was thinking of, right? Because that's if you want curb but different, Kiwi's a pretty good place to start. But there's also I was also very much considering what is it? What am I thinking? What was I considering? Oh yeah, I was considering doing GUI. It'll be a little bit harder, but GUI GUI is actually goo, comes from dark matter, and for it being the spooky revive option, it makes a lot of sense, I think. But I really did kind of really like the idea of making it just. I did like Kiwi though, so it's kind of hard to give up on the initial idea, despite the fact that thematically speaking, I should probably do GUI. I love GUI. I haven't played a lot of GUI, but he's a nice guy. Oh, who doesn't love GUI, right? If you don't love GUI, what are you doing with your life? Certainly not loving GUI, because otherwise you'd love GUI. I'm running out of sense. But it's fine, it takes a lot of pride in not making any sense, but... Dang it. Close. No cigar. GUI, yeah, it's GUI, baby. And you know what they say? You better have GUIs. It ain't GUI without GUIs. Write that down. The thing is, other thing is I can change my character's name from George Curb to George Keeb, which is fun. But it's not as easy to do it that with GUI. So I can always just not change my name. Yeah. I also ate a marble. In the character chat. I had to like basically prove that when Curb eats stuff, it's not gone forever. But once I did, I convinced them to give me a marble to eat. I have this one of my favorite little things I came up with on the fly. I was like, oh, I have leather armor because of how D&D works and stuff. But I don't actually. Well, Curb doesn't wear armor, and I'm like, oh, it's underneath the skin. It's like you can't sew it, you can't see it very much, but the armor is protecting the internal organs underneath the skin. It's like it's under like a thin, it's under the goop a little bit. Pretty proud of that, especially when I came up with that solution on the fly. Yeah, so I don't think the checkpoints are worth getting when you're the mech suit, because you know, if you respawn, it's not like in the checkpoints in the Sonic levels give you things, so they're worth getting, even though you have to restart to any death anyway. But in this game mode, it doesn't appear to be the case. It doesn't appear to give me anything, so they're kind of useless. Which is a big sad. Oh, that's good enough. Get those. Shoot, I forgot to ask. Can you give me the amount of? Can you give me Galaxy? Can you give me the number again? I'm not going up there. Oh shoot, that's Chow, I think. Or maybe it's just forward, maybe I can go through this thing. It should 14,000. Oh shoot, that's not that bad. Oh yeah, so I think what I decided was I might go... there's this stuff, so I have to go back and hit that. There's this. Oh, it does give me stuff, so there is point to it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the main issue with this one, I don't think this is actually going to be that hard, actually, if it's only 14,000. I thought it was going to be way more. Are you sure that's like the right level? Normally it's way more, right? Like we were like talking like I mean the like the one road thing we did, that was like what, two to like 20,000. Like I felt like a lot. This feels like a really small amount of points, all things considered. And considering how big, I mean, hard mode got all the way up to like 30,000 last time. Yeah, that's hard mode, but like, which generally does require a high point total because one of the key ways to make this, that they make levels harder is by adding more things, which gives you more point abilities. But I don't know, it's still surprising to me. Boom, shakalaka. Texted a screenshot. Well, I believe you. I believe you. I didn't mean to imply I needed actual visual evidence, but it's just crazy to me. Not what I would have expected, you know. That's what they say, when it's not what you would have originally expected. Oh, some smooth gaming. Bada bing, bada boom. I don't know if these guys are worth it. There's a lot of rings, but like rings aren't a very good source. These guys, which are worth, I think, a lot of points. Get these things, which are also worth a fair amount of points. It's less. It's more about the combo than how many points that are worth to run the thing. Oh, so actually, did I get points through? Well, oh well. I have less points than last time. I've lost points somewhere, but I'm not too worried about it. I actually don't think it'll be tricky to get 14,000. Pretty fairly confident in my abilities, I think. At least on the 14,000 wise. I don't know if this is the optimal way to run this one. Well, clearly not, because that's a dead end, but like, you know. Texted a screenshot. Oh, that's 20 rings. That's a pretty significant amount when you get up to 20. So that number clearly just, so the number on, yeah, I called that before it. So the number on the, oh, we got a whole another life too. That's another advantage to getting the ring. I think it was the other one. Another life. Hey, at least I like that a lot of the animals here appear to be swimming focused. That's really good because we desperately need more swimming based things. Is this, oh, that'll be helpful. Yeah, 12,000. Oh, that's well within. Thing. Oh, I never even got this far. I don't remember this. Come on, get on it. I got through the whole level. It's weird. Maybe I just have bad memory. That happens sometimes to me. Bounce up. Get these. Yeah, I've almost got 14,000 before reaching the goal.
Hey, I did it!
Yeah, really close. I did it. I mean, Tails says it all. I did do it. I did, as they say,
I did
it.
Sonic!
I did it, Sonic,
What stage
as
are
they
we
say
going to
in
play?
Tails. The one
Choose
with
a
Tails.
character.
Let's go back to some chow. Go back to some chow time. I need to get some grub, some chow, some chow, you know.
Everything will be okay.
Nope, I didn't mean to do that. You know what? No, it's not worth it. We're doing swim. We gotta upgrade swim to its highest before we do the other tigers.
Everything will be okay.
Alright, that's good. We can, now that swim's at its lowest, I'm okay with giving the tigers to him. Decrease fly, but that's fine. Tigers are important. They increase run. Run's a pretty important stat.
Here. Here. Everything will be okay. Here.
If I can ever get this tiger
Everything will
to.
be okay.
Alright, come on game. Run and power, like that's a really helpful. Like swim is an issue because we don't have a lot of it, but run and power are really. Run is especially an incredibly good stat to be upping. Alright, that's the last of them. Let's give them the green guys. What do the green guys do?
Everything will be okay.
Small increase to run. Alright, that's good. Give more green guys. And big increase to skin. I think they're otters. It's really good to have the otters though because you really need them. We really need more swim. Alright, run is a more useful stat to have a big score in, but we're really behind in swim, and I'm really glad this one was filling us up on it because
Everything will be okay.
we really do need it. There we go, that's nice. I am getting all sorts of good feelings about the swim going up.
Everything will be okay.
Please do not the chow. I'm not sure that's a grammatically correct sentence, and therefore it is hard to parse its meaning. Do you mean don't eat the chow? I won't. I wasn't planning on it. Do you mean don't chow down on food, even if it's not a chow that you're chowing on? I'd say I know the animals look a little mismatched, but I kind of like that they change. Oh wait, can I get this guy? No, he's too far off.
What stage are we going to play? Choose a character.
I wish the animals just. Oh, whoops. I wish the animals just popped out of existence after you used them and didn't. I think they head towards the exit. That gets confusing.
What stage are we going to play?
And it might be that they just can wander into the exit Logan zone where you can't get them, and if that's true, that's just not good. Alright, we just gotta get those rings, baby. We don't have to worry about any of this junk. Oh shoot, that's 10 rings, so... See if other rings here. Nope, just an animal. I think the trade-off with the animal is they're more effective than machine actions is. But they, the animals are more effective than machine actions, but you need, they also generally also have downsides to them. Oh, come on! I forgot about that guy. No, I mean, do not the chow. What does that mean? You can't just say things, okay? It's illegal to talk in non-Flightship streams. Okay, That's not what I mean. What I mean is that saying that I don't understand what do the chow means. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, there's rings down here. This is a bit of a ring sparse level. I would say 3 minutes, 15 seconds. That's a lot of seconds. I don't like the longer ring levels. I like the ring levels to be shorter. Because yeah, the timer might be more intense, but like when you get to these long ones where it's not really an issue of timer and it's just an endurance run, I don't like the pressure having to survive this long without getting hit. Especially since the mech levels are one of those ones where like there's actually like these are one of the few types of levels in this game where there's more, like you have more leeway than just like you have more leeway in these levels and pretty much these levels only on when you on what you have more leeway on nothing back here. But of course none of that's going to compare to down here. I think one of the few levels where you have like some amount of leeway on what you can and like on what you can hit and stuff. That was well, that was great. Note yourself, we're not going down there. It's one of those. It's one of the few ones where like a hit, like you don't die in 2 hits in these. I will say my enjoyment of Sonic also went up a lot when I realized that losing rings actually didn't cost you anything in terms of points. Because I was really dreading having to do stuff like without getting hit, right? And while I still think that it's a bit sad that I will always be a little bit disappointed that the rings don't. That there aren't nearly, that they don't spill out all the rings and that they do like approximate values and stuff. Like, that's always going to be disappointing, but it's never going to be as pressing as when I thought that like getting hit once would cost me a ring. Like when I thought that was true, except for these specific ring levels, I was, that helps. That was a really important realization. That in most cases I could get hit and it would be fine actually. Come on, baby. Come on. Bounce up. Going up here so I don't have to deal with that junk. Sure. Cause I know there's some rings right after a checkpoint where like they're like just right off to the side, and I don't remember. It's a lot of them, right? We're not gonna want to miss this. Not something over there, right? I think it's here. No, it's not here because it's not a checkpoint. Dang it. Okay, you know what? We're still continuing because I need to figure this. Tactically speaking, alright, that's a lot. I might not actually need to, but I think it's right up ahead. And if I go right, go the correct way? I don't think so. Alright, it's here. That's almost certainly going to be the end. In fact, it actually probably is going to be before the end. That's probably before the end. So, there we have it. It's interesting how mashing the button is more effective when you're in a level that's not you don't, because you're not vulnerable for as long. Stuff fires, stuff gets to its target as fast as possible. You're not going to miss. Rapid fire is just generally better if you're going for anything that's time based. It's just that the points require you to get combos. So. Boom, 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 boom. Ba 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 boom. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, I guess I can just ignore that guy. That's pretty good. Boom, shakalaka. Sure, I've got enough animals at this point. Get to these, get to these. After the end, the mech controller feel super great. That gives me some wings. Come on, come up. Boom. Oh, come on! That's really annoying. Attack, 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 attack. Boom, 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 boom. I'll get over down here. No! Yeah, this is, again... I like the unique challenge, and I like how each of the different stage types does affect how the gameplay is, but like well, I like that, but dang it, I knew that was gonna happen. But I think 100 coins just is gonna be one of my less favorite. Like, it's just, and this is the one where getting hit once actually does ruin a run, and like, I was so relieved when that wasn't how it was for most runs, and so, I mean, I'm glad they give you the challenge of doing it, but I don't know. It feels super arbitrary. Like, it's something like Super Mario 64, right? Getting 100 coins isn't a good idea. It isn't a good idea for a star, but it's still like, I mean, that's a, you know, your collectathon. Most of these are linear levels. Feels a bit more, yeah, I don't know. Like getting through a level super fast in Sonic Adventure, that makes a lot of sense. Getting 100 coins makes less sense. It's not really a collecting thing. And since it's time-based, it's not, oh, explore all the secrets. It's just find a specific route, and mostly means that you can't get hurt. Well, it's not without merit. It's still, 100 coins by itself isn't a super fun idea, honestly, but
What stage are we going to play?
even in games where it makes more sense, but it's, I don't know. Probably my least favorite mission type. I like the Chow because you have to like find the secret, which is very fun. I like the. I mean, honestly, you're finding more secrets in the levels, in the ones where you're trying to maximize points. And so when you're trying to maximize rings instead, like rings already increase points. It feels weirdly arbitrary what you're trying to do. Which, like, everything's arbitrary, right? We're playing video games here, but like, there's an art to making stuff not feel arbitrary, right? To like disguise how arbitrary the goals that you're doing actually are. I don't know, I'm rambling at this point. Just trying to fill the space as I focus super ultra hard on not screwing this one up. Down here, get these. I mean, look at how goofy that looks. And like, it looks goofy and that's nice and all, but it also feels weird to do. So, think of it as the other side of goofy like emotes. It looks goofy, but it also feels goofy, you know? It isn't necessarily bad, it's just... Staying back this time. Camera, don't get stuck on things. I logically know why cameras get stuck on things, like from a design standpoint, cameras get stuck on things because you don't want the camera to clip through stuff all the time. But whenever the camera does get stuck on something, there's always the question in the back of my mind, which is literally, why doesn't this just go through the wall? It doesn't actually exist. You could totally, and I know it generally doesn't want to clip through walls because it wants to maintain an illusion and stuff, but also, you couldn't do it this one time. Like, I know that's why cameras get stuck on things, but it still feels a little ridiculous on it when I'm like, just make it so, like, you can't see, like, you could just see, like, the, like, one-way walls. I don't know.
What stage are we going to play?
We're gonna play this stage again, Taylor's my man. Actually, we're gonna go to the Chow. We're gonna go to the Chow because we have some delicious animals for them. This level, I will say, this level is, I might go to this level to grind in the future because, or at least for swimming, because like, it's easy to get a ton of animals fast, and you know, animal-wise, you need animals. Oh, let's see. Have high run, have high swim. I'm gonna give you an honor. I think that'll help both. Sorry, I gotta pick you up. Come on up. Bear with me for a second. I just gotta make sure something. Come on up. Let me pick you up. All right, swim has upgraded, so we don't need it. Let's. What do these skunks do again? Alright, so they upgrade run mostly, but swim as well. Alright, so next time don't use the... So these guys decrease swim and fly, so you don't want to use... But increase power and run. Because that's the thing, right? When you do these, they increase... Like when you do the cheetahs, they increase by a ton. And then what's the negative for the penguin? Negative for the penguin is power. Yeah, that makes sense. Power is probably, we already have quite a bit of power, so I'm actually not too bothered by power. D is, I'm not too mad about any power decreases we have to stomach. I've been more grumpy about a run decrease. Because, you know, run's just really useful. And is there a downside to the otters? What do they decrease? Also power. Makes sense. Power is pretty easy to decrease. Alright, let's do this last sucker. just run over it. Well, next time what we might do is start with the cheetahs next time.
Here. Everything will be
Acquire
okay.
the animals. I am acquiring the animals. The aminimals. I shall acquire the aminimals. Come on, get some fruit, get some fruit, get some yummy fruit. No one else swimming? Come on, eat up. I think we have a chance of actually winning that one race now. Yeah, we might do better. I think there is like an intelligence stat. I hope it's upgradable because I really don't want to keep having to fail that one race because I can't figure out the stupid box puzzle. Or Carbano can't figure out the stupid box puzzle. That would kind of be terrible. What's the, how much, oh, we're doing Chow next, right? 250. I think I know where it is, roughly. Now let's go. Exit the Chow Garden.
What stage
Enter
are we
the
going to
level.
play?
Oh, we're burning through. We're getting pretty good at these. And this is another. It's time, so we're just gonna mash for this one. All incentive to be careful is gone because now I can get it multiple times. Oh, that didn't work out very well. Oh well. Boom shakalaka. Bye-bye. Haha.
Okay.
This is a bad idea. Okay, so you can't go through there. Good to know. Good to know. Can I just do this? I can. No one can stop me. For I am Tails with mech suit. I mean, Tails is pretty powerful as long as you give him a giant mech suit. You could probably say that about anyone, honestly, but shush. Don't want Tails to feel unappreciated. To be fair, I think Tails built the mech suit, so you know he gets some credit for that. So if you left Tails on his own without a mech suit, he'd just make another one. So like that gives him some, I think some integrity there. Okay. See, Tails agrees. Go through. Yep, no, that makes sense. Yeah, this is another one that's like, you gotta go fairly far into the level, which... Any of these that could end early, you really want the tighter times that are like, could end early. Because those tighter times that could end early, yeah. I like how I tried to orientate these levels in like, the least aggravating to do to the most aggravating to do. And then like it ended up being the opposite order from what I did. Like I was like, I think these might be my least favorite to do, but then the one I did first are my most favorite. You get the idea. It's kind of funny. Granted, it does feel like we're doing these faster than the Sonic levels, right? Maybe there's just less of them. Like I feel like it has still been a bit of an unwind to do these next. To do the non-Sonic levels after the Sonic levels. Come on, blow everything up. alright, we're almost done. Or did I say that we're not actually anywhere close to being done?
Okay.
Come on. Alright, come on onto that thing. Oh, come on! Get me there. Alright, come on. I gotta say, going fast in the mech suit is not that fun. Because this thing's slippery and you're gonna slip and fall off a ledge. And it's not really made to go fast in, right? It's mostly made to methodically build up combos. And so it's not great. It's not the best. Keep slipping off stuff. Very annoying. No! It is. I have said so. I did a nap before stream today, and I felt a little groggy, right? Like, so I still feel. I even still feel a little groggy, right? Like the nap has caused me to feel groggier than usual, but I feel way less fatigued. Right? Like, it's interesting, because normally I just think, oh, tired is one thing. But, like, I feel more groggy and less fatigued going longer into stream, which is fascinating. I tried it out. I was like, I don't want to be fatigued going into the stream. Let's see what happens. And now, like this is a very interesting result to get. At least to me. Maybe some of you that sleep on the regular are just like, oh, I love that running into that pole just immediately slams you into the ground. What a good game design aspect. It's not that many levels left. Just pull through a little bit more. I do think we're in the latter half. I think it won't take all semester to finally conquer this thing. And as much as I love as much as I've grown to appreciate this game, it will be nice. I am excited to not be playing it. It's fun. It's been. I'm glad I did it. Right. I'm glad we're doing this. It's been. I love discovering a game. Right. There's something really nice about discovering a game. But this is a long game, 100%. And I'm starting to feel like at 28 streams, it's starting to feel like this might take a while. Like this is taking a while. That was a dumb thing, but yeah, you know. Yeah, obviously it's taking a while because it is taking a while. But I don't know. Nope. There we go. Just come on, camera. You can't. Just work with me for a little bit, okay? Alright, go through this thing. This maze segment is the worst. It's fine enough, I guess, but like. Just has this overwhelming feeling of not needing to be here. I don't need those, but I wanted them. regret that. Yes. There we go. This is the door. Luckily, this is right off the path. There's not a lot of searching for this. Unluckily, we were rapidly running in it. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. It's 250. It's not actually. No! Oh, wait. I forgot. You don't have to reset in these ones because it's just time-based. And you don't have to get 100 rings. So you can restart from checkpoints. Oh, I forgot. I forgot. Oh, I'm gonna die here because like that was a terrible waste of time. Come on. Oh, it's so good to be in a level where checkpoints are an actual thing I can use. We lost the game. I was like, oh, there's a game going on tonight. Should I ask for the updates? And I was like, at this point, it would just be a cool thing to ask, and so I held off. Because, I mean, I don't want to make you sit through another disappointment. I'd be like, that would be mean of me. It morally would not be right to force you to do that. So I didn't ask for the updates today. Although that is actually incredibly disappointing. And I am very sad. Because we're facing the Rockies today, right? That's not great. I've given up hope. Which is
What stage are we going to play?
I mean, it's like, it's
Choose
fine.
character.
I mean, I wish, you know what, honestly, I wish we'd lost that one game against the Athletics. That first game, when we were like talking about how the season would have been unsalvageable if we lost that game, and we won and we got on a little bit of a mini tear, and that thing happened where we always go, oh, we're back again. I wish it just ended there. I wish we could have just spared me the torture and like just told me then, oh yeah, it's not gonna work out, instead of dragging it out like this. No, they won that game.
Everything will be okay.
Oh, the football game. Oh, right. Yeah, there's a Giants game happening right now, Mom. Sorry. Sure, maybe there's hope. No, why am I saying that? Like, oh, shoot. Well, I guess I didn't lose this game. Time to get back on the same hope wagon that, like, won't go anywhere. I've become mildly sad about it. If you couldn't tell by my language. Hasn't been the most encouraging thing. I think that penguin's lost. Yeah, so I didn't use the penguin. I started with the non-penguin. So it is, you can just lose some of them. I don't like that. Kind of a bad feature to like just be like, oh yeah, and then some of them could just walk off. It was cold. We are losing. Oh great, we're losing the Giants game. Okay, great, wonderful. You're talking about the college, the football game. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, with how we barely won the first game, and then a bunch of people got injured, I wasn't exactly expecting us to win the game. The football game. Disappointing to hear, but I'll definitely be disappointed. I'm glad you told me, but I didn't have super high hopes. It also helps that I'm not as plugged into football. Actually, when does the NFL football start? Because that's the college football.
Everything will be okay.
So like, you know. I think it's easy. When's the real football begin? He's eating it. Oh, we're doing pretty well in this game though. NFL started yesterday. Okay. So did we win that game?
What stage are we going to play?
Like, did we win that one? Did we play yesterday, or were we the team that didn't play? I don't remember how the schedule works, I'm gonna be honest.
Avoid falling into the sand.
No, I refuse Omachow. Alright, I forgot, I actually have to do the combos in this one. There's just also a timer. Galaxy. Our college game was also lost today. Players play on Sunday, okay. I think those fighting days are important, alright? It was totally worth it to stop it even though it's the time run. How late am I? It's 2 hours 17 minutes. 2 hours 17 minutes. I'm still doing rapid fire tactics, which I need to not be doing. I wouldn't come down here if it wasn't for the, yeah, I wouldn't have come down there if it wasn't for the, Alright, we're not doing that. I'm not going down there if it weren't for the golden robot. Golden robot means, I should go down there, actually. Get off the tails! Finally. The most important thing is that you go fast on this one. Alright, those two are worth it. It's a solidly large amount of points, I think. Yeah, so Bears play Sunday. And we'll see how they do. Is it looking good this year? I don't know anything about the footballs. You have to inform me. I got into baseball, and I don't know how football works. It's harder because I don't watch the football because football is not during summer, and so I won't be experiencing it with Dad. So I won't be able to just watch with Dad and then be like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" I have to ask him. Because that's how that was. So I often point the finger of my baseball thing a little bit on the Dorktown documentaries that I started watching with my dad. But there was also definitely the fact that watching the game with Dad meant, oh, we're watching the documentaries together and the games together. They have a parody, and Dad can explain stuff to me, which is fun. And even connect stuff to like stuff we saw in the documentary. It's like it worked well, and it kind of like I don't need documentaries, but like I need Dad. I think it's hard to like without Dad to like talk to and watch the football with. I feel like it's harder. I mean, especially since I don't think I'm ever going to get as into football as baseball. Partially also due to Dad, and also partially because I like the slower kind of thing, and there's no concussions, etc., etc. Well, I guess not no concussions, less concussions. Anyway, it's harder to, yeah. But I would like updates, and I at least... We've moved on from complete apathy to, yeah, I'd like some updates on how we do. Like, I'd like to know. I might not watch the game, but I'll, like I would a Giants game. But I'll listen to the feed about what happened. Yeah, welcome your Lily to this Sonic Adventure 2. I can't remember. Have you played Sonic Adventure 2? A huge chunk of people when I'm playing this game come in and they know the game. The people that have played, they're like old experts. They're coming to watch someone play it, and they probably assume that I've also. They probably don't think this is a blind run. Maybe because I haven't advertised it as a blind run. Because, I mean, I'm doing a 100% run. How blind is this? We're on like, what, stream 28. How blind is it at this point? Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know. I do think personally it would feel a little disingenuous to label this as a blind run at this point. And isn't that kind of weird? Like that is kind of weird because arguably it is straight up a blind run. But it feels weird. It feels like, well, yeah, it's technically a blind run, but like, you know, I'm doing 100%. It's not like when you think about a blind run, you think about reacting to stuff, right? It's not much of a reaction. I've done most of this. I'm just optimizing at this point. A football. I know what a football is. In fact, I even know the basics of how the sport is played. Very impressive for someone like me, considering there's no Mario football game. Was not like. So for those of you who are watching the archive or the later edit, Mom has informed me what a football is. Unnecessarily, because I did know what a football was. Oh my! There are two teams that I have to get to the football side for a 20-20-yard field. Yeah, I know how football works. Roughly. You know what I don't know? I don't know like all the plays and the diagrams. I'm not as good with figuring out what a running I have a general idea of like the goal and like how that works, and but like it's hard for me to remember the position number, like the position names, like what a running back is and stuff like that, and all the different like potential plays you can make, right? Like no, dang it. Right, like it's hard for me to remember, like what the running back is, what a tight end is. Like, it's hard for me to remember all those names. It's hard for me to remember, and it's hard to remember. It's hard for me to keep track of the little diagrams where they show the play. But it's honestly the most interesting part of football, which is, as far as a shame I can never keep track of it, is the fact that like you have this field of space, and you gotta just do anything in it, like push ahead. I don't know. Like there's all these, and over time, people come up with new strategies on what to do. And there's all these different plays, and I know a lot of them are just slight variations, but like that's probably the most interesting things about football. Right. But it's also really hard to actually get a handle on that kind of like it's hard to get a handle on actually what that means. But yeah, the basics of football and how it works are not the issue that prevent me from getting into football. Right, when I see them throw a pass, I'm like, oh yeah, I know that's good if they catch it, and it's bad if the other two catch it. So I can get that, but like, again, understanding the diagrams and stuff, and when people talk about different position numbers, like I know the quarterback's the one that gets the ball initially, but like, beyond that, bit of a crapshoot from what I would and would not know. Alright. Extreme. Oh, that's not perfect. That's interesting. I think that only counts as two. Cool. I don't recall. Galaxy, did you ever give me the things I have to get to? Failed. Oh, so I guess those are things I could got. I probably should have got a combo there. Than what I actually did. I might want to go around. Nope, why did I do that? So you have to go this way. If this way is necessary. Then you can skip around here. not gonna make it. Alright. Yeah, too much time wasting. Oh no, for Mish is 12,000. Hard mode is 13,000 for hard mode? Oh, that's weird. Hard mode usually has inflated numbers because you have more things to shoot.
Try shooting strange-looking walls. You can find your way out.
That brings up a lot of questions about like what hard mode is. And especially in these levels where it's all about how many enemies you hit. That is very bizarre to me, having it not be, Come on. Yeah, that's very interesting. Not what I would expect. Come on. So we can let that ride because I don't think it ever amounts to more than good. I really should just go to the left there. It's clear that it wants me to jump to the left. I don't know why I always do the right. Come on, fire at the thing. Come on, really? Starting to feel the squeeze of the timer. Come on! Sometimes this game is a bit annoying. Come on, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. Get those. Very glad it has shoulders there, because that was a place where you actually fell off for going like off the main brick. I would not be happy with life in general. Come on, hit the thing, hit the thing. That was awesome. Not extreme like would be hoped for. Just how things are. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going to the right though, because I need to do what I have muscle memory for, you know. itching because I don't want to take the time to take care of it because I am very, very, very stressed because I'm very, very, very close. Okay, how long will it take to break through a wall? Let's attack, 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 attack. The last bit, okay. Get on this thing. Get on this thing. Oh my gosh, 10, 7, 6, 5. Come on.
Okay.
I got 12. I got 13,000 without even the time bonus. Yeah, I'm surprised it's not at least like 20,000 or something, right?
I did it, Sonic!
Or 15,000 though, like 17,000 at least. That's weird. 137. All right,
What stage are we going to play?
we're gonna finish 2 levels today. That's nice. Nice amount of levels. Of course, now that I've said that, we're gonna fail this hard mode, right? But like, oh my gosh.
Okay.
I'm already having regrets. I can kind of take my time because there's absolutely no way, right, like that. There's no way, yeah, I'm gonna probably take my time a little bit. Both because this kind of thing requires some amount of caution, and because 13,000 is real low. These rings down here. And 60,000 on a level with there's going to be more robots generally. Just crazy. Oh, I forgot to go to the chow. Well, if this is the run, then then it's the run. But if I die, I'll go back to the chow. Gotta feed the chow. This is still here. I can still get it. You're like, honestly, I have a hard time imagining a world where we don't get the 13,000 without ever having to, you know, like. It's hard for me to imagine a world where we don't get the 13,000 basically automatically. If you're going, do you recognize me? Hi, Sharia. Hello, Sharia. Yes, I recognize you. Hello, Sharia. Welcome to this Sonic Adventure 2. We're doing Sonic Adventure 2. It's probably, is it listing me as streaming on Discord? It probably is, because I don't think I've ever turned that off. I'll probably just keep it on. Yeah, this is me. What's up? I'm doing I'll show you Sonic Adventure 2. It's pretty fun. It's mostly going okay. You came in a little bit at the end because we're almost done. I gotta get to the end with 13,000 points, and it's looking pretty. It's supposed to be hard mode, right? And I know it's hard mode because it's harder to do, harder to get to the end at all. But getting those the required points for the A rank isn't hard at all. What's he doing? Yeah, it's a good. It's good to be doing well. Oh, this is new. Oh, I have to jump onto this thing. Ash the Wolf. Wolf doesn't get 13,000 points. A true apocalypse. Oh, not that bad. Okay. Ooh, that is looking tricky. Let's take care of those bomb throwing things first. Alright. There we go. Okay, I think that's done. We're pretty much almost at 13,000 already. Yeah, I'm doing Sonic and Nintendo, right? That's like another world to me. No, Sonic is Sega. This was released on a Nintendo console, but I'm not sure I would go as far to say that it is Nintendo, you know? The company that makes Sonic is specifically Sega. Let's get on this spring thing, because it's not actually... Yeah, so that'll lead me up there. Yeah. Look, we're at 13,000. Easy. Yeah. It's like... It was put on a Nintendo console, but like, it's made by Sega.
I did it, Sonic!
It's not Xbox or Sony, right? I don't know. Galaxy probably knows a bit more about this. It probably is something. Sega's not associated with any one console. It might not be an exclusive, right? It might be available on all consoles. Because there's more of those. Because that's the other thing, right? Nowadays, it's pretty much only... It is the run. That was the run. It was the run that did it. If... Mostly, I keep getting this stream delay, so I see right now it just finished the run for you guys, and I get the messaging system, the Twitch messaging system, works faster. And this is a bit confusing. The messaging system works faster than the video system, which makes sense. It's way easier to transfer text than messages, but it means I'll see messages and like from the past almost, right? Like you'll be watching a little bit further back than me because of delay in the video, and but the message will actually be, so the message will be about like, oh, it'll be about something that already happened, but time-wise it's from it's from right now, right? You're it's just that there's more delay on what the video you're seeing than on me receiving the chats. That makes any... I don't know. Never mind. Not a point. My usual knack for explaining things is dried up. I will say I'm a little bit nervous. Are you in 341? Because I'm nervous about the I've got 2 MPs due on Monday, so I'm a little stressed. Yeah, that's stream delay. I could... So here's the thing, right? There are options. I could try and decrease latency and make it there less stream delay, right? It's an option on YouTube. But that means that you might get stuttery video, and it might not look as good. And it doesn't matter that much. Sega was part of the Console Wars, due a string of failures, forced them into purely being a software developer. Console Wars, by the way, is the different people that develop games consoles. Their competition is called the Console Wars, generally. So now they make they make games. Now they're a developer that makes games for all consoles. I mean, I'm playing on Steam right now. This is Steam. That's how I'm playing it. Now, the Steam port of Sonic Adventure 2 kind of sucks. Certain things are just invisible for no reason, and they've never updated it. Uh, like, but but it's easier to play on. It's easier to stream off a computer than to bring a Nintendo GameCube up here and and I'd have to buy. It's also way cheaper to get it on Steam than to buy the physical. You get the idea. They do seem to favor Nintendo with several exclusive releases. That's interesting. Like they're closer. I mean, brand-wise, they're closer as well, right? Like brand-wise, we're gonna do some chow races here to wind down at the end of the stream. Brand-wise, they're closer to what you put on Xbox and on Nintendo. I will say something. I haven't played a lot of Xbox and Sony. Xbox and Sony is out of my wheelhouse, but I know it's really hard as someone for me as someone who just plays most of Nintendo stuff. It's really hard to tell the difference between Xbox and Sony nowadays. Not gonna lie, audio is worse than any driver you could have from low latency. I'm sure you gotta do if you don't get your audio settings right. I don't know how to do the audio settings. I got this like Yeti mic. I don't really know how to fix them. I mean, do you know how to do audio? You can comment and try and I would definitely open to advice on that, but I've looked into it. This is the bike I can afford, and I'm doing it in my dorm room. Yeah, like so we're using like a USB mic here. Oh, excellent, boosted. Oh, the game. Oh, thank God we didn't get jump scared on that box, so we do improve. The game audio. That's interesting. I think. What do everyone sounds like this to me? Game sounds are way louder. Your mic is completely fine. Like the game sounds are too loud. Like I can turn the game sounds down. But earlier people were telling me the game sounds. I'm worried people in the chat will object because earlier people were telling me the game was too quiet, so I turned it up. It might just be that this is an old game and that's what it sounds like. The game was super loud and your voice is fighting for space. Oh, that's interesting. I could turn the game down a little bit. That's very interesting. Oh yeah, sorry, that's gonna pause the game because if you X out of this thing, it pauses the game. I've turned it down a little bit. Let's see how that feels. Oh, for real? No, it's just me then. Oh yeah, oh yeah, you might just be. I don't know who you're responding to, Mia Galaxy, but yeah. I mean, I will say this game's old. This game's, I don't know what, it's like a decade or so old, maybe two. Not two. Maybe two, actually. Shoot. Well, you know, this is a really boring part of the game where you just kind of watch this guy, so I'm just going to look up. I'm not playing, by the way, right now. You just watch this guy. All I can do is press A to give him a short boost. Anyway, I'm going to look up when this came out. Sonic Adventure 2. Let's do the original version, because 2001. This is over 2 decades old. So the game audio for this game is over 2 decades old. It's why? So, you know, you might not. It might be. It might. If it sounds. It might also sound choppy because it's old game music. But I wouldn't discredit. Real game connoisseur. Yeah, that's true. Thank you. I will say, right. I'm definitely. I do worry about the audio. I do want to get better audio stuff, but I'm just not sure. I've done most of what I can, and I'm not sure how to proceed to get better at audio at this time. So for now, I'm just going to deal with it, right? Maybe if I get, hopefully after college, I'll have a room that's dedicated to this, and I can like do soundproofing on the room. But I don't really have the resources to do that right now. It's fine. I mean, it's just a hobby anyway at this point. And besides, we're doing chow races, so it's better. Mike is fine. This is perfect. That's good. That's good. So the turning it down helped. I wanted to see that because
Obviously, I keep my sound balancing settings from game to game, so keeping that's good. That's good. It makes me feel good. So yeah, if you're wondering how this part of the game works, you basically, the items you collect in the real video game make your Chow stronger. And then when your Chow gets stronger, you can then watch them compete in races, where you can press the A button to make them go a little faster at cost of your stamina. If your stamina runs out, you go really slow. You're just old that sounded weird to a normal like me. Yeah, that's true. I'm used to playing a lot of old games. I'm used to how they sound. But, no, I would not be surprised if, like, listening to Silent Adventure 2 for the first time, I was like, eh. It's got a good soundtrack. It's got a lot of good songs. It's just it's a 2-decade old, it's 23 years old. Not 23, 22 years old. Oh yeah, so our Chow is way faster than everyone, but his swimming sucks, so this just happens. And now I've run out of stamina, we're going slower, and I don't like the Chow races. I'm doing them because I want to do all the stuff. But like, Chow races kind of are kind of a bad part of the game. They're kind of not very fun or good. Like, I can have a good things to say about most parts of this game. But this sucks. It takes so long to grind, it takes so long, like, the Chows grow slow, and it's hard to get invested, and you're just watching these races. Am I a React streamer? No. Oh, well, I basically am for these, but no, generally not. I don't do any reaction. I don't really think that's, I mean, I'm hoping to do some video, to eventually get to the point where I'm doing reviews of stuff. Like, so that's not a streaming thing. I want to do some stuff where I write a script and actually kind of like put some creative energy into this. This already doing video games is not like, it's not uncreative. It's not no effort, but I'm not like, to be a React streamer is, well, it's pretty far down the hole. No, I'm kidding. I don't mean to be that judgmental about this. I'm sure they're making a living how they can. Can't begrudge them if they find a way to get a lot of money. There's some donkey videos to critique. Well, oh yeah, I've watched some donkey videos. I'm not sure what you'd like out of me as a critique. I'm not watching them on stream, right? Here's what I can do. Because you're my friend and I know you in reality, I can like message you on Discord what I thought of the videos. I'm not gonna watch them on stream because I don't know. I don't want to say that I don't respect React streamers, but I don't not like. It's not that I. It's not. Oh no, wait. Sorry, I got that wrong. It's not that I don't respect React streamers. It's just that I don't not. It's just. I have a certain amount of respect for their ability to like make money in this kind of environment, and I don't have a big grudge against them. But it's not something that I have any interest in doing. So I'm not. Again, I will watch donkey videos and then text you what I thought about them. I'll even watch them in your presence. I can hop on, not after this because I have like 2 MPs this weekend, so maybe later. But like, I'll hop on a Discord and you can watch me watch them personally. But I'm not gonna live stream it to other people, to the general public of 5 people, because like I know almost no one goes on these. But they are put onto YouTube for all eternity. Like everything here is archived and like stays up for all eternity. And people do pop in, right? It's not a ghost town here. People do pop into the stream. Like 2 or 3 people, but people. And so yeah, I have no problem personally reacting to donkey videos for you. But I won't do it on stream. It's and also not this weekend. I have to do like my AI MP and my 341 MP, which aren't going to be too bad, but there's also like a business attire sale this weekend, and I got to call my mom because I call my moms on weekends, and I want a podcast. So I've got and I've got some readings to do, and what else do I have? What was on the other things? Kimono's doing terrible in this race, though. Luckily, this is a pretty easy place to catch up. What was one of the other things I did? Phew. There are a few more. I have some readings. I'm not sure how much. I might watch some videos, like for like some potentially supplementary videos. I'm not sure if I'm doing that though. Sort of wishy-washy. Oh, I have to in CS 411. I have to like do my. I have to finish a project proposal, and I really don't know what we're doing in CS. I'm a little lost, so that's gonna. I might have to meet with a TA and talk about that. And on a pointing, I just want to say I don't want you to feel disappointed if I don't get to the donkey videos to time. Besides, if you want to watch me react to them, again, we can just get on a Discord call and I can actually react to them. So, yeah, I'm just saying not this weekend. This weekend's a bad weekend. Plus, I still got to prepare for the career fair in, like, what I think is, like, Wednesday. Yeah, I'm a little busy. This is a little busy. I might cancel the podcast at this point, because, like, that's probably the least expensive thing to cancel. They're like, sorry, I can't do it. I'm doing 5 million other things. I might cancel the podcast. Yeah. Yeah. I just gotta get... It's hard to do things like start the MPs early, but I really need to do things like start the MPs early. It's really helpful for the life. I just need to do it, like, because like if I say that like I haven't started the MP. I started the 3S341 MP. I'm not sure if you're in 341. I started implementing vector, but yeah. How are you doing? I forgot. I should ask how you're doing, since we're literally just sitting here and watching these really dumb races. How are you doing? How are classes? Oh, thank goodness. I get a really bad headache tonight, probably from too much screen time. Gotta go rest my eyes. Alright, see ya, Galaxy. After this race, we're probably ending the stream. It's getting late. I've been streaming for 3 hours at this point. And I've accomplished more than I thought I would this stream anyway, so we're not behind. You have to talk to... I said that, Mom. That's Mom. Mazra Mix's mom. I said that, Mom. I already told you that I already told you. I already said I have to talk to my mother as one of the things. It was in my list. I said MP's mother, job, like MP's mother, business attire, podcast. Those are the things I mentioned. And eventually I also got to readings. So I've got some readings. And then I also, finally, I remembered at the very end that I have the bloody project proposal, which probably won't be that much work, but like I don't actually really know what we're doing for the project. It doesn't help that that's a project for a class I added like on Thursday right before the ad drop deadline because I wasn't getting into another class I wanted, so I just swapped them. So I was already behind in that manner, and now I already have to come with a project proposal for a class I've already kind of just barely got any kind of bearings in. I'm bumming out. I was trying to ask Shari how he was doing. Sorry about that. I got a bit distracted. I'm starting to feel the fatigue at this point. I mean, I know video games are a fun thing to do, but 3 hours of video games. It's not 3 hours of video games. It's 3 hours of video games and carrying a conversation. And I didn't get a lot of sleep last night because I went to this D&D thing on Thursday, which was fun. It was a lot of fun, but it meant I got back late. and I stayed up later because I have like a bit of routine to get to bed, which involves scrolling a lot of on the internet, which is not great. Took a nap though. Took a nap today. That was fun. It was kind of fun. Oh yeah, this is the end. This is the last race. I don't think Carbono's gonna make it because Carbono's swimming stat sucks. So, whatever. Oh, you can see he's failing. The other guys are catching up. It's funny because I'm frustrated at the game. Please laugh. Oh, sorry, I was joking around a little bit. Oh. Hey, maybe we could... No, we're not fast enough to overtake here is the problem. And also Kirby's going around the turn the wide way. Why are you doing that, Carbono? Not Kirby, Carbono. Alright, one last burst forward, and he's run out of stamina and he can no longer do this. Okay. Well, it was fun trying. That's enough chow races for one day. I cannot wait till I don't have to do chow races anymore. That's it for the stream. We have reached the end of the stream. We've gotten through it, as they say. We made a lot of progress today. Today was a little recap of progress. We did a lot of progress. We finished 2 levels. We finished in this horribly organized map. We finished Route 101, all the A ranks there, and we finished Hidden Base. We have only one more Tails level to do. It's here, Eternal Engine. After that, we only have the Eggman levels, of which there are quite a few, I think. So we have some Eggman there, some Eggman there, an Eggman there, an Eggman there, an Eggman there. That's like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 5 Eggman levels, approximately. And then we finally, after that, we'll do Cannon's Core A ranks, and then we'll do the Boss Rush, and then we'll do a few multiplayer modes. And obviously, if we finish all this up and don't do the Chow races, we'll have to do those. We'll have to do those too. And that's everything. You need to hear your sister. You need to hear your sister's a winner. My sister's a winner. Wow. At what? You know what? I'll just hear from you tomorrow. Because that's the end of the stream. Thanks for coming. We got some links in the description if you want. There's an archive channel where I just kind of throw random stuff on there. It's not super useful, but if you want to see some unedited footage of some stuff, you get it's there. It's the stuff that I have, and I might as well upload. So there's an archive channel. There's a Twitter where I sometimes post things, but not really. I'd always post. It's one of the places I always post an update if I have an update about the channel, and sometimes I'll post random stuff when I spontaneously remember. But yeah, and then finally I have a Discord. It's a Discord. You can talk to me there, or that's everything. So yeah, thank you for flying with the Flightship. We off? We